Today I went down to the park and I was thinking a lot about the question, why do I do what I do? And I was thinking of shooting a video about this yesterday, but I decided against it because I was like, who cares? Like, why am I going to make this video? What does this have to do with anybody other than myself, But then I turned on YouTube this morning, and you have to excuse my voice because the air quality out here is so bad today. And I was out all day like an idiot, and it actually affected my voice. But I went on YouTube this morning and I saw a video of a guy who discussed why he does what he does. And I just kind of took it as a sign. I was like, okay, I'm going to shoot a video and maybe somebody will get something out of it. But I just want to talk about the issues that you go through to make art when you're not making enough money, when it might not seem worth it sometimes, when you're not able to live the kind of life that you kind of wish that you could live, and you start maybe comparing yourself to other people, and that is never a good thing. And I came to the conclusion that the reason I do what I do is because I have no choice. Literally, like I have no choice. I mean, I do what I do because it's not what I do, but who I am and what I am. And I don't really give a shit about any of the other stuff. And I mean that in a good way, but I guess maybe to my own detriment too, to a certain extent. And what I mean is, I don't really care so much about being famous, making tons of money. And don't get me wrong, I would be so up for the challenge of making tons of money. And I'm quite sure I would do really good things with it. But that's not what gets me up in the morning. That's not what inspires me to work, to get out of bed, to go outside, to write, to perform, to think about creating, to make film. Like, I could promise you that I don't think about any of that, meaning the money, the recognition, all of that, ever when I'm doing my work. When I think about it, like, all I think about is the work. I'm trying to do the best. In this case, I'm trying to do the best filmmaking that I can do. Like, I'm working on a movie right now, feature film, and I don't think a lot of people understand, because I talk about it a lot. I don't think people get that I am doing it all alone, by myself. Like, I don't have a sound person, I don't have a cinematographer, I don't have a set designer, I don't have a grip, I don't have anything. I have me. That's it. Me and my camera, Panasonic S5. And I have to admit that recently, I got up one morning and I was like, why am I doing this? Like, who cares? Like, what is the point of this? I'm spending all this money. I have no support. I'm losing people right and left because I decided to engage other people in this project. And I've had to rewrite the script 1,000,000 times. Winter was supposed to be like the most important part of the script. There was no winter. I had to rewrite that. I had to change locations. I'm traveling all over the place to get one shot here, one shot because I think there's such great ideas. And I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? And I'm doing it because I love it, because it matters to me, and because, how do I explain this without sounding like an arrogant fool? But I'm doing it because I want to make a contribution, and I feel like that my work, at least I have the intention of my work being contributing work, Like, I hope that my work is the type of work that disrupts people out of the, the malaise that we live in, this day-to-day, not really thinking about anything important. I'm going to cover up the microphone because it's getting a little windy. I'm hoping that my work makes people think and maybe talk about things that they don't generally talk about, which perhaps can get us to a higher level of humanity. That's how silly I am, that I think that maybe I can do that, At least that's my intention. Like, I don't do it just for me. And actually, I make art so I could share it. That's really what I want to do. That's the most exciting part for me. Don't get me wrong, I love the process. I love it, you know, it's amazing. But every time I finish a project, I'm like, oh, now I get to share this. I get to either be in a theater with a bunch of people and perform, you know, my latest solo play, or I get to do a screening and show my film. And that's what it's all about for me. You know, at the moment, I'm going through this thing where I'm dealing with moire, you know, the moire that the Panasonic S5 causes sometimes in some video. And it's because it doesn't have a filter, you know, I think it's a low-pass filter. No, it's a high-pass filter. Actually, I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But I know that the Panasonic S1H has a filter, and it gets rid of the moire because it's more of a cinema camera. But, you know, I was thinking about getting the S5 Mark II, the S5 Mark II X, and then I thought about the S1H, and I'm like, damn, I can get an S1H now for $1,900, which is around what I spent for this camera, which is amazing, like crazy talk. And I also thought, what are you talking about? You have no money left. I spent so much money on submissions for The Center of Distance, my first movie that I made on my phone, because I wanted my collaborators to get recognition, you know. Like, I really submitted as Best Original Score more than anything, and Best Indie Feature. And we won so many awards. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I spent so much money, and we made no money on that film. Now, we might make money down the road. You know, I'm working on a few things. We have some possibilities, but no money, you know. And I spent all the money. It's crazy. Same thing with this film. I'm just spending money. And, you know, people look at me sometimes like, what are you, nuts? Like, what are you doing? But, you know, that's what my life is. My life is my art. My life is my work. I have no choice. That's what people don't realize, you know? Because you're always going to do what you love. You're always going to be with who you love, and you're always going to do what you love. That's what you're going to do. That's what I do, you know? It's like I am compelled to nothing else. So, am I going to get the S1H? Not unless somebody donates it to me, or an FX3 or something like that. But I'm going to work with the S5, the original, the OG. I love the image that I can get out of this, other than the moire that shows up, which is like that shimmery kind of weird thing that you think your stabilization is screwed up, or then you think your focus is screwed up. But then you learn that it's just what that camera is limited by. So I was out today, and I looked out on the Hudson River up here in this town that I live in, and I thought, you know, it's so ironic. The air is all screwed up because, you know, the world's coming to an end because there are wildfires up in Canada that are affecting us here in the New York metropolitan area. And it looks so beautiful. It was like the perfect type of environment to shoot video in. Like, it looks like film. It's perfect. And I don't know, it just made me think, like, that's what life is. Like, it's everything. It's the horrible things, it's the beautiful things. There are beautiful things in the horrible things, there are horrible things in the beautiful things. You just have to live your life and do what you want to do and do what you love, and hope that you somehow contribute to other people. You know, the other thing that I'm doing now is I've been a filmmaker for the last 3 or 4 years, right? Before that, I was a solo theater artist, and I still consider myself first and foremost a theater artist. But, you know, I also thought, like, you know what? And, you know, if anybody from the theater world is watching this, don't judge me and don't be mad at me and don't think I'm being an asshole. But, you know, in a way, I feel like a lot of people just booked me over the last 12 years because they knew that they were going to fill the house if I did a show there. You know, like, they pretty much knew that, you know, every one-off that I did for over 10 years in New York City was sold out. And the other thing that I noticed is that I was still living like an impoverished life. Like, the people who owned the theaters, who ran the theaters, who ran the theater companies or whatever, they had families, they had cars and houses and homes, and they had lives. But I noticed that the theater artists, the performers, the writers, they don't have those kind of lives generally. Most of them, unless you're a celebrity. It's really a struggle, and so theater for me right now is kind of trauma, you know? Like, people don't realize how hard it is to put together at least a solo play that I do, the way I do it. Like, I don't know about other people and their one-man show or one-woman show or whatever. Like, I don't call my stuff one-man show or whatever. I call it a play because it's a play. And, you know, often people in the solo world have said to me, you can't do that. That's way too long. That's too this, that's too that. And it's like, yo, I'm making a play. I'm telling a story. I don't care about any rules or regulations. I'm not trying to write for time so I could be included in some festival or whatever. I'm not doing that. And I've been successful doing it my way. And I've worked with some incredible collaborators who have never had a problem with what I did. But, you know, it never got me to a better level of life. Like, I don't know, you know, it's like maybe it's a young person thing, you know, like it's okay to work for, you know, a couple of $100 or seven, you know, some people think 700 is like a lot if you're doing a festival or something like that, or like even 2,000 or 3,000. It's like, seriously? Like, how can you earn a living like that, like a real living? Like, I've had to scratch my way across the last 15 years, and a lot of people think I'm crazy off the charts successful, and I think I am too. And I guess that's my point, you know? I do what I love, but I'm also not doing theater right now because I guess I feel a little taken advantage of. The only time I made money is when I produced my own show. And I raised money, and we did really well. But then I allowed other people to get involved, and it all got screwed up. So, I guess, why do I do what I do? I do it because I love it. I do it because I find value in it. It makes my life feel like it's something that's worth living. And I've struggled with that over the years, my entire lifetime, actually. So I'm working on this film right now. It's the hardest thing that I've ever done. I almost quit. I almost gave up when I have had so many obstacles with regards to this movie, and I almost said, you know what? Why am I doing this? This is stupid. Like, I should just move on and make YouTube videos and do something else, you know, like write another play, try to produce it, whatever. But I've never not finished any project that I started in my whole career, ever. And also I thought, why do you do what you do? You do it because you love it. You do it because it's not what you do, but it's who you are. And so I guess what I'm saying in this video is, personally, I will always do what I do for all of those reasons, and I will do all of that until the day I die. And I will do it as well as I can. I will put every ounce of my spirit into it. I don't know anybody who works harder than me. That sounds arrogant and fucked up, but that's how I feel. And I'm very proud of my work. And so, yeah, that's what this video is about. Why do I do what I do? I don't know if I explained it very well, but I'm going to share some of the footage that I shot today down at the river. I thought it was quite beautiful. Or I've been sharing it throughout this video. Because obviously I'm talking now after I shot it all this afternoon. It's now nighttime, and actually I love shooting at night. I'm in front of a beautiful theater that is right across the street from my apartment, and I'm so honored to live here and so grateful. And so who knows, you know, maybe I'll get some opportunity that'll get me to another place in my life where I won't have to struggle so much. But I know one thing, I'm not going to get to the end of my life and wonder if I could have been a great artist, or wonder if I could have been the best possible artist that I can be. I'm not going to wonder that, because every day that I live, I work as hard as I possibly can with everything that I am and everything that I have to be exactly that, to be the best artist that I can possibly be, which means that I'm also trying as hard as I can to be the best person that I can possibly be, because that's what being an artist is. It's being the most human that you can possibly be, to have empathy, to pay attention, to listen, to watch, and then to turn it into something beautiful, and then make an offering to people, gift people, give them something, share it with them, and have as I often say, a beautiful shared experience. And so I'm going to end this video and just say, I hope this air gets better over the next couple of days. And here's to a better world for all of us. Peace.